Welcome back. What's the purpose of our intuition? And this is kind of an opinion. This is something that I see. This is not something that I say, this is what it is. But if it's applicable to you and helps you in your life, why not take on this way of looking at things? So I believe the intuition is for that reason that it brings together, brings the entire system back into balance and gets us to remain in this state of balance by giving us little suggestions about what is right for us, and with following what's right for us, then we get back into balance and harmony, which is ultimately what feels right. To be in balance. Nobody likes to be in stress, but this is the discrepancy between what we should do and what we feel like doing. When we do something what we should do, but what we don't feel like doing, then we create stress and havoc. Animals don't live in this way. Yes, they do have stress, but then when something real is happening, when they need to run and they have the survival-related stress, but apart from that, they're in harmony because there's no discrepancy between what they should do and what they feel like doing, because there's only this faculty of what they feel like doing, because they lack the mental image of themselves, they lack the mental faculty that tells them otherwise. So animals don't have a choice, but we do have a choice to listen to the intuition or listen to our head. So this is what it's all about. So we bring the entire system back into balance, our entire system, and everybody around us is also being touched and influenced positively if we do listen to our intuition, and I believe that's the purpose. When we follow our intuition, our whole life gets back into balance and works out on all levels and on all areas. This is fascinating, guys. If you are into personal development or spiritual development or spiritual realization work, whatever you might call it, healing work, whatever that is, you want to make your life great. At some point you've started out on this path to make some improvements, make some changes about yourself or your life in order to be more happy, finally and after all. But in seeing that, trying to get our life back into balance, we always will find that it misses something at some point. It's like, what's a good example? Do you know, some mass of some kind, some glue of some kind, and you push in at one side, it gets out on the other, because, that's what it is. When we try to force our life to get back into balance, and we think our life should be different than it is, then we actually create the havoc, because wanting our life to be different than it is the same reason why we actually fail in not achieving that, because it both comes from a place of lack, from things are not okay as they are. And as we've seen and talked in depth in the last modules, the way to get our life together is to let go of wanting to do that and trust in that life will work out by itself. Because if you look at nature, life works out by itself. Life works without trying to, without striving to, it just does. It's a happening. It's not doing, not a forcing. And so in this way, when we follow our intuition and go with what's right, at some point when we feel it's time to rest, but our head says we should get up and work and do something or exercise, then we just rest because that feels right. And sometimes it really feels right to work or to do this call or to go see that person in our family that we haven't talked to in a while, and that feels right, and we got to follow that. Our intuition knows what's best for us, because it takes the entirety of our system, of our past anticipations for the future, our secret thoughts that we are not even aware of. It takes all that into consideration. It's kind of all the unconscious processing that goes on, gives out not a mental output, in a kind of speech pattern, but like an emotional feeling. And this is what the intuition is, a feeling. So, yes, a beautiful life is the reward of overcoming the fear of letting go what you want and throwing yourself into the unknown. This is what the intuition is all about, guys. At the point of decision, whether to follow what this intuition suggests or whether to go about the usual way, at this moment of decision, it is unclear whether it will be the best for you. You only know it afterwards. Or you can kind of, think that it will be that way when you hear it, like now me talking about, afterwards everything is going to be alright if you just follow your intuition. But at this moment of decision, you need to face your fear. It's really deeply felt fear of I don't know what's going to happen. I can't just let go and believe that everything is going to happen. How are those things going to work out? How am I going to make money? How am those things are going to work out? I need to pay my gas and all. Yeah, we need to face those fears. But after all, you know, I can't tell you anything. You need to figure this out for yourself. But if you're kind of truly struggling and frustrating, this is mostly the point where many people start to follow the guidance of the heart instead of the guidance of the head. Because if everything is kind of alright, you don't need to face this fear. But if your life is kind of, you're back against the wall, then you need to make some changes. And I would like to save you from getting to this point where you really have your back to the wall, if it's not already happened, and to trust your intuition up front. You know, intuition is applied faith up front, and then the rewards are an incredible life that works out on all levels and on all areas. So with that being said, see you in the next video.